hey, my name is Jason Osagi. You know, like my other name would be Jordy Hendricks, but the only part that is not typical is Jason Osagi. See, the whole thing is that I've been staying at my parents' house for almost 10 years. I was raised by my whole life. So for so for people, so for the teenagers who are staying in their parents' house and stuff like that, here's the thing that I've learned at my FSU years. C's get degrees, but it's not always that way. See, you have to make a multi-million dollar mindset. You have to attract the loops and pay attention to detail. See, I was a former pre-med student. Graduated from Florida State, but I never went to med school because of the grief. But the reason why I was in grief because I did not have enough money. So today I'm going to show you how to make a budget. And also, if you have another credit card, that has a high yield savings account from 4.02 to 4.5, you should get it right now. So, for me, you have to make 3 times the rent. 3 times. Now, don't sell yourself short, because you have to multiply. Multiply the max of the rent times 3 to 12,000. So what I have is 8,910 divided by 3. It should be around 1,400 to 1,500 a month. Times I tell you so. If not, it's probably 4 times the rent, because you're probably going to need emergency fund and your emergency fund and your safe deposits. So we have a budget for the $8,910 income. Your savings, if you have a high yield savings account, from 4.0 to everywhere, it's 40. You have to save. The percentage is 40%. That means it's $2,607. So if you have a poor weekly income, add the amount of money that you're doing. Have low money, and then put that into 2,000. If you have that, but before the weekly budget is $2,058 per week. So divided by 4. So that means you should put like $4.33 in your high yield savings account. Now, if you have great energy, you seem to have the balance of the elephant. Now, let me start it over. Great energy. Balance and elegant. Because sometimes people may not understand how you do in life. That's why we say screw them. So, for the monthly equipment is $4.33 per month. That means when you do this, the high yield saving will be $3,100. Housing for $2,325. Living expenses for $1,150. Lifestyle almost $1,200. Debt payments are $2,500. So when you divide all that math, for all that math, you'll be completely saving $716 per week. So in 6 months, you'll have about almost $19,000. And why? You have to calculate too as well. Because abundance is the answer. Come here for a second. Abundance is the answer right here. And then when you have a total savings and also with interest, you'll have about, in 6 months, is almost $18,845.66. So basically, what you're getting is in 12 months is almost 40 grand. Now, the split of a moving fund. You know, and I wish I should have learned this before I moved out the first time. You know, I worked at Pizza Hut. I was a delivery driver. I was a manager would have told me about financial literacy. I never had financial literacy in life because two things are the worst that happened. One, I never had advice. I never had a financial advisor. I was smoking weed. I was alcohol. So I learned that everything the hard way. But now when you're almost 30, you have to understand the life. So the split of a high yield savings account with a moving fund. You'll basically get 50 and 60% of total savings. Bills, medical, rent issues, 60% of a 6-month high yield savings account will be right here. 11,808. Covers the first, and the moving sale fund is 40 to 50% of house savings. So basically, yeah, it's covered the first month's rent, deposit, utilities, and furniture, etc. And 4% of the $18,400 will be almost $7,600. So for anything that I've learned in my 10 years, you know, I moved out 2 times. I moved to Nashville, Tennessee. I moved to Nashville, Tennessee, but I was 30 minutes west of that. I was in Mount Juliet, and I was in Pompano Beach, South Florida as well. Because, you know, as a artist who has done this, as a music artist who has done it for 10 years, I don't like to be called like a artist. I'm a singer-songwriter. So, you know, for people who are staying in their parents' house, try to be nice.